Mike Lorenz is not ignorant about what's going on with the helicopter, nor is Paul Leon. Okay, the entity is engaging in what is amplified audible activity and gang stalking, again, impossible lights moving all across the building, and this is the open engagement in what is state terrorism, and that's why the Ontario police are going to be disbanded, and they're going to federal prison. Okay, you're going to be reporting the names of the demons. They maintain a heliport. They maintain record regarding what is the use of it. This is stalking in the path with light activity. They do the same thing under the fake sun while they fly over this venue where you've seen the fake sun rising and setting. This is open engagement and what is domestic terrorism. Okay, and sex offenders like this who are stalking in the path with light, I'm gonna go ahead and get this license plate because they're going to federal prison. And this is also impunity. All right, right now the previous video ended because they're aware of what it is that I was speaking, and I'm referencing my website where you will see the people of the state documented. This one's going to federal prison, license 9MSJ525. And you're looking at the enlarged shadow of the vehicle. They're driving an engineer light with hazard lights on. That's called malice and impunity. They're going to federal prison. And that's also a sex offender that knows when my panties are down in the bathroom, driving onto the property, gang stalking in concert with the government that uses helicopters to do so in Ontario. Okay, this is the admission of Paul Leon. This is the admission of what is Mike Lorenz. This is the admission of the government that is openly engaging in that, and this is what the entire property is practicing, living at a facilitating environment where none of them are ignorantly engaging in what is facilitation, like you just saw, doing exactly the same thing that the previous demon that doesn't even live at the property engaged in. You're talking about what is demonic behavior. And while a police department is actually they're a bunch of gang members and sex offenders who engage in what is documented acts of retaliation. Okay, so I want to be clear again. The previous video ended while I'm referencing who is going to be prosecuted for gang stalking. That's prosecution, the disbanding of what are sex offenders and gang members who have access currently today to helicopters, and they will not tomorrow. This is exactly what the Ontario International Airport has been doing while they are hovering over the roof of this complex at a frequency of 5 to 15 minutes. Maintaining systematic surveillance, and as I document that and as I post it, the Ontario the Ontario Police Department, this is criminal acts of criminal acts of terrorism and harassment as an entity. They're all gang stalking with the demons that are flying in a helicopter. All right, the entity is doing so in a specific environment, which I will show you. Okay, you're driving and that's facilitation. Remember, demons are moving around in the engineer light. They're stalking with noise in the engineer light. And that's literally a demon-possessed person that's flying around in a circle. They're showing their mental instability, not only by virtue of engaging in stalking an American citizen in helicopter, but doing so as a means of some sort of disillusioned sense of retaliating. They're going to federal prison. Okay, this is the feckless and futile conduct, and that third party is going to federal prison. And all of them are going to federal prison. Okay, you've seen these same demons during the day under the fake sun over this parking lot, while the demons are gang stalking at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. This same parking lot, you've seen the fake sun over me at 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and these same demons that live here and engineer light moving all across the brick wall. Remember everything that's on the record, while the entity aware of what is published on the website. Again, this is the POC.wordpress.com, where you will see what is the documented highlights showing the face of a sex offender and a demon-possessed gang stalker, not a police officer having no authority under the law. This is open stalking with a population of people who are going to be prosecuted citywide. All right, the entity is engaging what's crossing path. You're walking in engineer light with perpendicular shadows. Those that are immigrants are going to be deported. Okay, this is impunity as you're witnessing it. This is also mental instability as you're witnessing it. And the entity that defies the federal government, they're going to be the same ones that are going to federal prison. Okay? It is, again, currently 10:36 p.m. where the entity is flying in circles. And remember, they're staying at a distance right now. I can't hear that from inside of the apartment. They're running off and running away and using the people of the state to come in close proximity. Understand it's elements. Because while I was inside of the apartment, if they were concentrating over there, then I wouldn't have heard it inside of the apartment. These are demons that are focused on me. They're gang stalking. This is where the fake sun is all day. And that's a terrorist that acts with impunity. They're all going to federal prison for this, what I'm documenting. And this is exactly what the Los Angeles Police Department, this is what the Pasadena Police Department are gang stalking while I'm in Pasadena, flying over my vehicle while I'm at the drive-thru at McDonald's. This is what the entity is doing, gang stalking at the Monrovia Courtyard by Marriott, where the fake sun was then rising and setting, not over Woodside Senior Apartments, engaging in what is the exposure of mental instability. This is demons that are acting out. This acting out, though, is very serious federal offenses, and it is directly relevant to the Ontario International Airport. As I document and expose a gang stalking airport, it shall be shut down. It's going to be shut down. This is the criminal system that they're engaging in with the Ontario police, with the demons that live at the property, who are not complaining about commercial planes hovering over the roofs of the buildings while they are pacing, just like you see the Ontario International Airport. They're not flying in a circle. They're patrolling by just repeating one after about 5 to 15 minutes, another plane flying over, another plane, and it's loudly sounding inside of the apartment. As I publish this information onto the internet, so arrives the demons that, again, audibly to communicate a threat, because the Ontario police are like the LAPD, wearing diapers. They're so heavily stalking. They never take a bathroom break. They're obsessed with my genitalia, and they're also obsessed and also hostile to the evidence, prosecuting and exposing demon-possessed gang members that are not police departments, a terrorist organization that's exhibiting demon possession while pacing. Remember, what is Satan doing in the engineer light? Satan is actually pacing back and forth. And how do you do that maliciously, where you're surrounded by demonic behavior, the demon possessed? You're looking at what is a group of people that are moving all around, and actually it's the pacing all together corporately. That's occurring while they're inside of their apartments, and I walk back to the apartment, and the entity's maintaining both audible and light activity and position. All the demons in their apartments are crossing path with me. That's another means for what are patrolling demons. Okay, walking in the engineer light, the demons are still monitoring while the Ontario police flies off. Okay, still in relevant position. This is a criminal act of retaliation. AVANATH communities and Woodside Senior Apartments, the Ontario International Airport, is being documented as well. This is exactly what they engaged in all day long. Threatening by demon-possessed gang-stalking police officers who intend to maliciously murder and kidnap with the people of the state is speaking to what is the removal of that corrupt airport. You just witnessed 2 videos where the police are flying in circles. They're pacing. They're communicating a threat. This is the mental instability of the demon-possessed, who are stalking one person, and that is me. You've seen the fake sun rising here. This entire community is committed to that criminal system, and this show of impunity is speaking to supporting removing sex offenders and psychopaths like Mike Lorenz, removing what are mentally unstable demons that are currently working for law enforcement, and their future in law enforcement is over. All right, this is impossible light. Driving in it, flying around while demons are walking all around me in it. This is how you're accomplishing both direct and vicarious engagement in the pattern of conduct of group stalking, federal group stalking and monitoring, gang stalking, and its demonic behavior. All right, this is the entity that's, again, my website is, this is the P.O.C, where you'll see the evidence that's published today, and you will be able to recognize the criminal acts of retaliation, which the Ontario Police Department is documented very heavily, engaging in what are very foolish, documented and published acts of criminal retaliation that they're all engaging in together. They all just engaged in an act of retaliation together. They're all going to federal prison. Just like that, they're going to federal prison. They've been engaged in years of kidnapping, theft of personal property, while that entity that's hostile to the documentation published about it continuously engages in acts of terrorism. All right, you're removing the licensure of the demons that are gang stalking while being paid a salary at the Ontario International Airport, acting with that corrupt gang stalking police department who's going to be disbanded. You're going to remove the people of the state and put them in the asylums in the federal prison where they belong. You're going to remove the demon-possessed gang stalking government, such as the Ontario City Council. Okay, directly relevant to the president over the Ontario International Airport, a gang stalker who knows that demons are gang stalking with commercial planes at Woodside, where you just saw the pattern of conduct by the corrupt police department. This is hostility by a mentally unstable population, showing again the inability to intelligently respond to evidence, the inability to control themselves, resorting to more terrorism. This is the public safety concern. Those are demons that bear weapons. Those are demons that are bearing badges and masquerading as law enforcement, and they're demon-possessed gang stalkers, very hostile, while you witness what is an act of terrorism that the entity practices on a regular basis, okay? Stalking in the path is the same. They're not going anywhere. There they are, stalking in the path. All right, and I've captured this time and time again. They're stalking wherever it is that I go. That obsession is because they are demon-possessed. This is how you have strangers that are stalking you, because you're dealing with demon possession. All right, demon-possessed gang stalkers have no business in law enforcement. Gang stalking immigrants have no business in this country. They're going to be deported, and that includes those that are granted immigration status under any means. For the to-be disbanded Ontario Police Department, where you're not hearing any helicopter activity now, but they're targeting, these are demons that engage in supernatural conduct, okay? And that's how I'm able to know that the entity is stalking in the path. And you also know that it's targeting because of the engineered light, the impossible light activity. I've got multiple shadows here, okay? Walking around, driving around, entering and out of the gates. The people of the state openly act with impunity. These are the same people that want to murder and kidnap you. That's the purpose of gang stalking by the state in concert with the people. This is a highly unpersuasive system. You just saw a bunch of demons engaging gang stalking in plain sight. And that is, again, the federal response with regard to the prosecution of the state. Federal prison is necessary as a matter of justice. All right, it is currently, again, 10:42 p.m. This is the same engineered light where you see the fake sun planted over the venue all day long. At nightfall, the same exact engineered light is present. I want you to see these, and I want you to see that up there. The demons inside of the apartments, they're all gang stalking while they're inside of their apartments, and you don't have to step out. You're talking about the venue itself is gang stalking. AVANATH Capital Management is gang stalking. Woodside property is gang stalking. With the gang stalking be removed, the airport's going to be shut down, and you're talking about removing the demons, again, Paul Leon and Alan D. WAPNER, and the rest of them removed from public office, because this is a citywide criminal effort that you see the population by patrolling in the parking lot, maintaining light activity, and that demon was already, again, the first video I'm referencing, in relevant position monitoring me while the police were targeting with amplified audible activity. I walk out and you see them flying away. They were stalking in the path, and then they again flying in a circle. Review the previous video that I documented. Those are demons that are gang stalking. The elements of light, relevant positioning, and audible activity are underway. Chiefly my voice as I begin narrating the video. While I'm inside of the apartment, it is amplified helicopter, okay? And that demon that was in the white vehicle doesn't even have to live at the property. This is a demonic system, and it's citywide, a population of demons who are targeting. That's identifying the code of behavior, the code of conduct amongst demons who are targeting together. And this is, again, the public removal of a demon. This is a criminal conduct that Mike Lorenz is not practicing any freedom of religion. This is a demon-possessed gang stalker that is inclined to engage in terrorism, and that's why Mike Lorenz is going to be removed. That's why the Ontario Police Department engaged in years of kidnapping, criminal defamation, while they seek to engage in targeting an American citizen masquerading as having authority under the law while they're group stalking. No, you don't. You're going to be disbanded for that. And they are also going to be removed because they approve of and engage in and facilitate criminal conduct amongst the people, all right, who are mentally unstable altogether. All right, it is currently, again, 10:44 p.m. This video is broken in two because the entity is monitoring, and so the previous video immediately ended, but you're going to look at both of them together. I want to make sure I include all of this discussion in this video as opposed to just doing the podcast, because it's relevant to what not only is the pattern of conduct is already established, the fact that the city of Ontario, the state of California is engaged in domestic terrorism, group stalking, gang stalking, ordinarily referred to. It's a state-organized criminal system. The entity is flying away because I'm capturing video right now, necessarily targeting with the ability to hear it, amplifying while I'm in the depths of the kitchen. You are targeting with amplified audible activity, which is demonic. They're flying in the path, flying in circles in what is an engineered environment. These light fixtures do not create perpendicular shadows. While you're looking at the ongoing impunity, they're gang stalking while they're on Vine Avenue driving. They're gang stalking while they're living at 717 North Vine Avenue. They're gang stalking while they're living at Woodside Senior Apartments. They're gang stalking while they're flying under the fake sun during the day, and they're flying in the same specific environment at night. They're gang stalking with the Ontario International Airport, which is going to be shut down. Every single last airline is engaged in group stalking. You will see that documentation in detail again on the website. This is the POC.wordpress.com. The entity today, the Ontario International Airport, at approximately the heightened frequency hovering over the venue, aiding in criminal conduct with the people of the state, just like the Ontario Police Department is right now. The Ontario International Airport at approximately 5 to 15 minutes, another plane all day long, okay, for the duration of the day. And the entity is doing so while they are monitoring the evidence that I publish on the internet. That is aerial surveillance that the police are engaging in a specific environment, and this is exposing to the federal government criminal activity that is public corruption is what I'm exposing. And it's also the appetite of murderous demons who are seeking to maliciously murder and kidnap. That's the purpose of gang stalking police officers, by the way, and they openly expose their agenda to murder and kidnap while they gang stalk on video, and do so as you publish the evidence of it. That's the fake moon right above. Remember, the entity had the fake sun remaining, as I captured plenty of images, which you'll see. This is where the fake sun is setting in perfect alignment to me. This is where the fake moon is remaining in perfect alignment to me. This is where the entity is gang stalking by a population, and that population includes demons who are part of the calling themselves a police department. Ontario Police is not a police department. They're going to be disbanded. All right, it is currently, again, 10:46 p.m. This is relevant for what is documentation of terrorism, harassment, retaliation, and intimidation as an entity. All right, all the people of the state are going to federal prison for that. It's evidence against the people of the state. This is one entity together, and they're doing so, again, relevant to what's also relevant, in other words, my documentation that's on the website right now regarding the gang stalking by the Ontario International Airport that increased its gang stalking schedule today because I spoke specifically about it on podcast. The mental instability of the entity, demons, this is the public safety concern. They engage in more of their violent acts as you expose it. You're dealing with the spirit. Okay, so this demonic spirit is over a population, and the demons have no business. It's a threat to the public that demon-possessed individuals inclined to criminal conduct that is terrorizing have access to pilot licenses, have access to law enforcement, and are living amongst American citizens like myself whom they're targeting together. All right, and as you see the traffic inside of the parking lot, as you see the pedestrian traffic in the parking lot, they are doing so in what is an engineered environment. They're walking in directed light. They are gang stalking. They are monitoring, doing so in an impermissible manner with the police in real time. That's why the people of the state are going to federal prison. No one's getting away with it. Everyone in units 33 through 64 are going to federal prison, in addition to the license plate that I documented. And there's already evidence of the people of the state that I've documented at other times here at Woodside, and they are all going to federal prison. All right, this is documentation of ongoing impunity relevant to the comprehensive means of rehabilitating an entirely corrupt city. This is a statewide criminal system, and you're seeing it underway in Ontario, California. It is the public exposure, thus removal of the demons, of the criminals who are currently esteeming themselves as the city council, as the mayor, also the president over the gang stalking airport, the demon esteeming themselves as the chief of police, Mike Lorenz. You will see this all over my website. This is the POC.wordpress.com. Evidence supporting everything that I allege in my evidence to prosecute what is also demonic behavior. All right, it is currently again 10:48 p.m. This is P.O.C.